Hey guys, this is Coach Evan from Us vs Everybody, and I'm back again with our bi-weekly tips and tricks video series. Today I'm going to help you find the best bench technique for your body type, keep you injury free, and answer maybe any potential questions you might have. A lot of times you'll hear people talk about the best bench technique, or things that you can do to add pounds to your bench. But the biggest mistake that a lot of lifters make is changing their technique so often. They often don't get a chance to get good at it. There are three main parts to the bench press. The first one being your upper back placement and arch while you're setting up on the bench. Your second being your foot placement and leg drive. And the third being your hand grip and the width of the grip on the bar. While I have a heavy suggestion for upper back placement and arching on the bench, all of these are subject to what feels best for you and what you're strongest at. The first one I'm gonna hit is upper back setup and what it takes to get a good arch to feel stable and strong on the bench.
Buckle up and watch as our strapping young demonstrator sits down on this bench and gets ready for a good rep. He's not going to retract his shoulder blades because this can take away some of your stability and make the rep even harder. But what he's going to do is squeeze through his lats and get a nice big arch through his lumbar and thoracic spine. Watch as he presses his neck into the mat and really digs through those upper traps as he tries to get all of his weight through his neck and traps. This will help give him a much bigger arch. This will help make a much easier rep, especially out of the hole, and give a whole lot more stability. This will really increase your pushing power through the bench press. Get a nice big brace, a good pause, clean press.
The second point I'm going to hit is how to set yourself up for success through a strong and stable foot position.
Leg press is a huge component on bench press, and that all starts with your foot position and kind of what you're feeling through your hips and your quads. So what you want to do whenever you're benching, you want to get a ton of pressure in your hips, but you also want to not let your glutes leave the bench. So in a complete rep in powerlifting, your butt has to stay on the bench. So the first thing that you need to do before you get good leg drive is find a good foot position, one that kind of keeps your hips nice and locked up, one that lets you squeeze through your glutes without your butt leaving. As you can see, I'm demonstrating some of these. I personally prefer a kind of closer with toes turned out foot position. This lets me press right through my quads, right through my glutes, but my butt will never leave the bench. Some people prefer a more straightforward foot position, and some people prefer something that's more pointed towards the end of the bench. This is all subject to your personal preference and what feels best for you, but this is definitely something you should play around with. These are just some common examples, something that you'll see from a lot of powerlifters, and a lot of my own personal athletes will use different foot positions out of here as well. Notice how every rep I have my glutes squeezed and my hip flexors are very tight.
The third topic I'm going to hit is finding the right grip for you and how wide you might need to go.
All right, first we'll start with grip width here. There's three kind of distinct distances you can put your hands, and all these are also subject to personal preference. A closer grip will be much more tricep dominant. You'll have much more power off your chest, but it might be a little harder at lockout. Your middle grip will be kind of a good mix between your close grip and your wide grip. And your wide grip will give you a lot more tension right through the hole. It might make it a little harder to get off your chest, but your lockout will be much stronger because of it. We're also going to talk about hand positioning as well and kind of how to set your hands. This is more of a standard one right here. Just placed right in the bottom of the hands, thumbs wrapped around. Now we're going to look at more of a suicide grip. This is a lot less popular, and the bar could slip out of your hands. Now we're looking at a bulldog grip. Hands tilted in, get different kind of pressure, helps flare the shoulder blades more. This may help you press better. And then more of like a Japanese grip. This is less common. I don't have any athletes that practice this, but could be useful. And then these are just the same grips from a different angle. As you can see, there's your standard bench grip, placed right in the middle of the hand. We're going to look at the suicide grip next. Thumbs wrapped around the bar, or thumbs wrapped over the bar instead of around. The next one would be the bulldog grip. This is my personal favorite. Hands kind of tilted inwards. And then we're going back to the Japanese grip. Very interesting. A lot of shoulder flare. Could be very helpful. This is our final demonstration as well. As you can see, I'm getting a good setup. I'm driving my neck into the bench as I'm grabbing onto the bar, and I'm setting up my feet in the perfect position just for me. You can see I set my grip kind of middle of the road. I get a nice bulldog grip, and I get a ton of tension through my back as I get started with my rep. Now in this video, we didn't talk about pausing, we didn't talk about the rep itself, but as you can see, nice clean pauses on every rep. I just want to take a quick moment to shout out our demonstrator here. He is obviously very out of shape and very out of breath during the set. He's out here doing cardio just for our entertainment, just for our kind of education here. So just want to give him a loud shout out. He's doing great things.
I really hope this video helped y'all out. There's so much more to bench press that I didn't cover, but today we just kind of covered the basics. In 2 weeks, Heath is going to make his first appearance on the UVE YouTube, so stay tuned for that one. I hope everybody has a good rest of your day, and don't forget to like and subscribe.